The South African Grand Prix may not be dead, after a man involved in its organisation suggested a new venue be proposed. In June of this year, it was reported that a deal was being worked on to bring South Africa back onto the calendar after it was last held in 1993, but 30 years later, fans are being forced to wait even longer. When Formula One unveiled its mammoth 24-race calendar for next season, South Africa was absent while new races like the Las Vegas Grand Prix had been added. A proposal for an F1 race is a complicated affair, and it is rare to get an inside look at what went wrong with an unsuccessful bid. But that is precisely what happened this time. The FIA, F1, Motorsport South Africa, the venue provider, the national government, the local government, and the local promoter were all involved in the bid. Anton Roux, the chairman of MSA and a member of the FIA Senate, has blamed the local promoter, the SA Grand Prix Association led by Warren Schechter. He told South African news outlet News 24 that the failure to agree on the race was due to the local promoter's inability to deliver on financial guarantees. The reason the F1 event is not taking place in 2023 is that the F1 appointed local promoter was unable to deliver on the financial guarantees, he said. The whole issue here is not a fault of the FIA, F1, MSA or government side. It was purely because the local promoter could not deliver, and we now need to replace the local promoter. But I'm very confident that we'll be on the 2024 calendar. We need to create more sporting heroes for our children to follow, and I think that will be a big benefit to the South African motorsport. The guys must see a Lewis Hamilton or a Max Verstappen so that they can relate to it. We need to create aspiration. The organisers are now focusing their efforts on 2025, with only one spot available before F1 reaches the maximum number of races permitted during a season, as stipulated by the Concord Agreement. Tourism is one of the primary benefits of hosting an F1 race, with an estimated 60% of racegoers coming from outside the host country. Roux believes that one advantage for South Africa is that it shares a time zone with Central Europe. Another advantage we have in South Africa is that we're in the same time zones as the Europeans. So from a television viewer's point of view, it slots in where the biggest viewership is. Things, however, may not be so straightforward, and it has recently been revealed that the South African Grand Prix may be held at a different venue than the original Kyalami track. Bobby Hartslief, a South African entrepreneur involved in the Grand Prix organisation in the 1980s, said he had been approached to create a new bid hosted in Soweto. Yes, I've been approached to offer advice and comment on the concept of a Soweto SA Formula One Grand Prix at the Nasrec Showgrounds. A group of influential business people contacted me some years ago with the concept of a huge event, one substantially greater than just 3 days of practice and a qualifying, culminating into a 2-hour Formula One race. Soweto is located within Johannesburg, and the proposed site, the Nasrec Showgrounds, is situated to the east. According to Hartslief, the site checks all of the boxes. The area also has a sporting history, as the nearby FNB Stadium, which has a capacity of 94,000 people, hosted the 2010 FIFA World Cup. When asked if he thought the race was possible, Hartslief said unequivocally yes. South Africa continues to face its challenges. A Soweto South African Grand Prix for the people, by the people, will not only bring international recognition and exposure, but will also be a significant morale booster for the country and provide tens of thousands of much-needed jobs for our unemployed youth. Do I think a Soweto Grand Prix can happen around the Johannesburg Nasrec Showgrounds? Unequivocally yes. We will reveal more of our plans when our principles speak for themselves in due course. Nonetheless, many obstacles must be overcome if F1 is to have a South African Grand Prix at either of the two venues. To begin with, the country is experiencing difficulty, and that's just putting it lightly, with issues ranging from widespread unemployment to inequality, poverty, the government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and corruption. It's safe to say that the government will put very little money into a Formula One project, so almost everything will have to be funded privately, which is a massive task for the size of spectacle that F1 demands nowadays. Second, as more races are added to the calendar, teams and drivers may be hesitant to pursue racing on yet another continent, especially given the distances involved. With Liberty Media aiming for a more sustainable future for the sport, and races already forcing teams to ping-pong around the world, South Africa is a costly country to visit for the F1 circus. But what are your thoughts? Will the South African Grand Prix be revived? If so, where will it be held? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to receive notifications of future uploads.